We're talking about an inner attitude of service. I know that there are some denominations and churches, sects that would add, Rick and I were just talking about the ordinances that the Lord has left, baptism and the Lord's table. To that, there are some that would want to add the laying on of hands, and they would add washing feet as an ordinance. There is, yes, he says, I've left you an example, but in the short time we've had together, I hope you see that it's not a concrete example, it's a metaphorical example. We're not talking about washing feet, we're talking about, as we read in Philippians, putting the needs of others ahead of ourselves. Because that was the mindset and the actions found in Christ, and we are little Christs. We don't argue about which one of us is greatest. We demonstrate which one of us is greatest by serving one another, laying aside ego. Oh, the ego is the great enemy of Christian enterprise, is it not? Jesus is here giving a lesson and an example about how we are to orient our inner attitude. It's not an outward rite, it's not an ordinance. And I think that this is very timely. It's very timely because I don't know about your news feed over the past 2 weeks, going on 3, but there's been a lot in mine about what I could only term as Christian pride. Certain policies being enacted, certain policies that maybe we here in our country desire to also see shortly enacted. And this turn of phrase that I have heard far too many times from men who claim to be brothers in Christ, we're so back. We're so back is not an attitude in keeping with he who became a servant and he who instructs his followers to do likewise. That's pride. That's arrogance. That's trumpeting our place in history and our rightness over others. It's glorifying in those we're stepping on. The Master does none of these things. The Master never says, we're so back. The Master never triumphs or trumpets his own accomplishments. He takes whatever majesty he has and he lays it aside as one would take off an outer garment. And he stoops to wash the feet, do the most base, menial task. I mean, it's so beneath him, isn't it? There's no place for pride in the establishment of the kingdom. There's no place, check the ego in all of our works, because these things were not found in the Master.